This is Jean Moore with More Than Sports. Thank you so much for watching. Just real quick, before I introduce my special guest today, I just want to talk a little bit about the things I have on my wall behind me. It's kind of a different set that I have here, and so I just want to talk about that. These shirts that I have behind me, they are not sponsors. These are programs that I support, and if you need more information on them or anything like that, just let me know. So Smith Performance, they're up in Vancouver. Actually, that's where I met Riley at because he was at that skills clinic. TR is just starting out, but he has an amazing program up there. So if you want more information on that, let me know. The one on top, Carter for Six, that's Rashad Carter. Riley obviously knows him as well because he's got a nice little shirt on too. So Rashad has an amazing program as well. He has an amazing story. I've interviewed him. Very knowledgeable, has played the game, is currently playing the game. He knows his stuff. He's a wide receiver and just an amazing person as well. So you want to hear a story about perseverance, talk to Rashad. The next one, Performance, the one with the red on it, that is MVP Performance 7-on-7. They are located here in Eugene, and I actually help them. So if you're in Eugene surrounding areas and you want to know of a good 7-on-7 team, that's who they are. The next one, that's Dennis Dixon's program, and he has Dixon Fit. And so he's up in Portland as well. Again, somebody that runs an amazing program, does training. If you want to know anything about any of these programs, I'd be happy to get you in touch with the people that run them. So there's that. Just a quick little disclaimer. They're not sponsors. Some of these shirts I bought, some were given to me. So that's just what those are. So now for my guest, I have class of 2022, Riley Peterson with me. So Riley, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So you were at the Smith Performance Skills Clinic here a few weeks ago. Talk to me a little bit about what your biggest takeaway of that was. What did you learn the most from that clinic?
I think one of the biggest takeaways from that was like the work you put in now kind of shapes like the man I'm going to be in the future. Because like all the people there, all the coaches put in so much work to get where they wanted to be in their careers, and I'd say talking to them and just getting to know them at the camp, it like showed me how dedicated they were on the field and off the field, which is kind of what I want to be too.
Well, and those coaches, I mean, they've all played at the D1 level, some even NFL, arena. Amazing. Alex Green, who played for Green Bay. I know he talked a little bit about the quarterback there that he played with. And what was that like, being coached by these guys that have played, like Alex Green at the highest level? What does that mean for you to be able to learn from people like that?
I mean, it's just a very cool opportunity to get to see like these top level guys, and it'd be a sin if you didn't take what they're saying and apply that to your game, because they've been there, they know the ropes, and they're willing to show me the ropes as well, which is, just a super cool opportunity.
Yeah. And, talking about Rashad as well, you train with him. He played for the Ravens, I mean, he's been there as well. So you currently train with him, is that correct?
Yes.
And so what is that like, being able to actually train, not just at the skills clinic, but, whenever you want with people like Rashad?
Yeah, it's super nice. And, over time, I'd say he's become a really good friend of mine, which is super cool because, like, I've never really had receiver training like he's given me the opportunity to, which has really helped me improve my game. And like you said, he's played for the Ravens, so he knows what he's talking about. And he can also help me, like, connect with other people I had no clue would help me, like, pursue my career as a football player, which is super helpful all around.
And that's great. I mean, it's great to have influences in your life that are that way as well. So let's talk a little bit about what school do you go to
I go to LaSalle.
and what positions do you play?
I play wide receiver and free safety.
Okay. So you said wide receiver earlier before we came on was kind of your main position, but you really like defense as well.
Yes, defense is super fun.
So for colleges out there looking at you, you're willing to play either offense or defense.
Mhm.
Okay. So what was your best drill out there, do you think, at the skills clinic?
I'd say I did pretty well at the shuttle. I ran a
Hmm.
4:19, which I never ran sub 4:2 before in that. So just getting
That's
it
great.
pretty cool.
Yeah. So you had your best time there. So going to these clinics, how do you think that benefits you?
I mean, it just gets or allows me to show my skills and like because I'm kind of under the radar right now. So it's good to compete against guys that like colleges are looking at and show them that I can play with them too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because a lot of these, are really amazing athletes. Do you play 7-on-7?
I do, yeah.
Okay. Who do you play 7-on-7 with? What team?
My previous team, I played for Portland Flash, and right now I'm still trying to decide who I'm going to play for.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think the benefit is of playing 7-on-7? Now, I know you guys went to Vegas in the tournaments there because we were there with MVP as well.
Yeah,
What's the advantage of that, do you think?
it's just like another opportunity to showcase what you have because, especially now, like the season's still up in the air. Like 7-on-7's a lot for a lot of people is all they have to get themselves out there and show people that they can play.
Mm-hmm. And places like that, like Vegas, you're playing against 4 and 5 star athletes as well. Do you think that's beneficial?
Oh yeah, it just shows you how you stack up against the competition, and if you make a good play, it could blow up on like Instagram or something. So just great competition.
Yeah, definitely. Um, so with COVID happening and now the 2 week lockdown and just all of the things that have happened really this past year, how have you really tried to stay positive and have you used it to your advantage as far as training and things like that go?
Yeah, for me, it's just like if I put in the work, the results will show. So I just try to keep on working no matter what, like just getting
Mhm.
out by myself and putting in as much work as I can. Because at the end of the day, like if I'm doing all I can, it'll have a positive outcome.
Mhm. Well, and with your school as well, we were talking about this as well. You have a cumulative 4.0.
Yeah, I do.
So where does that drive come from? Especially now, being basically homeschooled, doing the online learning and things like that. How do you stay focused and where does that drive come from?
I mean, for me, education's a big part of like who I am, and
Mhm.
it's very important for getting into schools and stuff. So
Mhm.
it's just basically staying dedicated, even though it's super hard with online stuff. Like, there's so many distractions now. Like, you can just pick
Mhm.
up your phone and not pay attention in class, and then your grades will slip. But you just got to stay dedicated.
Mhm. Well, and it's, kind of like what you said, it's true. You have to have good grades in order to get into college. If your dream is to play college football or any sport, your grades definitely have to be there, especially now. It's so much harder for
Yeah.
colleges to see you. Um, so if your grades are there and you're dedicated to that, I think that does show a lot, especially during this time because it is stressful and it is challenging.
Mm.
So I think that's great. What do you want to do in college? What do you want to study?
Um, I'm a big numbers guy, so I like, like engineering and like getting to build stuff and hands on. Like science is super cool to me. I'm not like 100% sure on what I'd like to do, but
Hmm.
anything in like an engineering would be super cool.
That's cool. Is there a college that you'd love to go to or just any?
I'm open to whatever.
Yeah, good answer. Now, so let's just talk about you a little bit. What's one thing that you want college coaches to know about you? Not necessarily anything about your play, but about you, the person.
Uh, I mean, I just say that I'm a super like down to earth guy. Like I'll be there for them if they need me. Like on and off the field, if like you want to talk to me, I'll be there for you. Like I care a lot about people and the people around me, and I want to see everyone succeed. So
Hmm. That's good quality to have. Um, so, what do you consider yourself a leader on the field?
yeah, I do.
And how do you lead? What's your style?
For me, I'm more lead by example,
Hmm.
and because if I show them like we can play with these guys, and then I can rally them behind that, then yeah.
And what is it going to mean to you if there isn't a season this year? Like, how are you going to handle that?
I'd definitely be a little tough because football
Mhm.
for me, I've been playing since I was like, shoot, as long as I can remember. So I don't know. It'd be pretty tough, but you know, it is what it is. You got to move on, keep going through
Mhm.
whatever life's gonna throw at us. So
Now, I looked at your Twitter and I believe it was yours. So hopefully I'm right in this. And you had something about coaching little kids. Was
yes,
that you and how much you loved it? And even though you're not older, that's something that you love is to give back.
I do. Yeah,
Talk to me a little bit about that and why that's so important to you.
because at their age is when I like started to find that love of football and like I really want to do this when I'm older. So I want to like give them that same spark that I found at that age and just show them like this is fun, this is great. Like if you can keep doing this as long as you can, like because at some point football, your career is going to be done. So you want to
Mm-hmm.
cherish all these moments and just enjoy it while it's here.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's good. I'm really big on athletes understanding that they are not the sport they play,
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Like you said, you've played football as long as you can remember, but that shouldn't define who you are as a person. I think a lot of times it gets tied together and you're a football player. Well, you're not. You're Riley Peterson who happens to play football. So um, it sounds like you kind of have a good grasp on that. And, you kind of know what you want to do in college. And, I think that's great. What would be your biggest dream? If you could do anything, what would that be?
my dream would definitely be to play in the NFL.
Hmm.
That's like, yeah, that would be like the top, like shoot for the stars type of dream. But
Hmm. Do you have a favorite NFL team?
my favorite NFL team is the Baltimore Ravens,
Okay.
which everyone thinks I bandwagon on, but I watched it back with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and that defense. That's what another thing that got me like loving football, just the way they played, that grit they played with.
Yeah, they were pretty amazing to watch
Yeah,
for sure.
I'd always watch highlights before my games to get me pumped up.
Yeah, Ray Lewis will get you pumped up for sure. That's great. So, what position would you want to play in the NFL?
I think I could play some wide receiver.
Hmm.
Like Tyler Lockett is someone I like. I could see myself being like. He's not the biggest guy, but he's like super fast, super quick with
Hmm.
his routes, and he just makes plays.
So, how tall are you?
Right now, I am 6 foot.
Okay. So, you're not short.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you have any advice that you could give anybody, especially during this time right now?
I just say keep working. Like
Mhm.
even if there's not stuff you can go do, like just get out to a field and do drills. Like because the guys I work with, they know what they're talking about. So I try to take some of the drills that they do in training and just do that every day to improve
Mhm,
my skills. And if you keep doing
mhm.
that, you got it down.
So do you train with Icky Woods as well, or just with Rashad?
I'm gonna try and start because I know a lot of people go to grind time to get,
Hmm.
and he helps a lot of kids gain weight, which I'd like to do too.
Hmm.
So
There's a lot of amazing coaches up in Portland.
yeah,
I will say, I know Rashad and I know Icky from Grind Time Fit, and they care so much about the players. They care so much about their athletes. And just like you said with Rashad, you guys have become friends. I think that's so important to have people like that in your life that you can go to and know that they're there for you.
yeah,
And I think that's pretty amazing to have, and it's a great advantage of living up in Portland.
mhm,
um, there's a lot of, as displayed on the back of my wall, there's a lot of amazing programs there. So um, that's great that you're working out with them. So, well, thank you so much, Riley, for being here. I really appreciate that. And again, this is Jean Amore with More Than Sports. Thanks for watching.